Madison, the producer, and I, we were huddling the other day after I sent her a clip, and this was very hard for her to prove that she is the consummate pro. You need to know this about Madison, because if you're going to be a part of this community, there will be times where I just randomly go into college football talk because it's the greatest sport on the planet. And she is a big college football fan. She's a Georgia fan. She comes by it naturally. She was born into it. She drank the Kool-Aid. Her dad, Mike Browder, is a alum. Did your mom go there as well?
Yeah, that's
Casey
how they met.
Too. Oh, they met there. Okay, great. So anyway, she loves Georgia football. So I sent her this clip, and to your credit, you did not send anything back nasty. You were like, okay, we'll do it.
I can admit that he is the GOAT of coaches.
He is. Nick
But
Saban
go Dogs.
is who we're talking about. So it's very hard for her to acknowledge anything positive about Alabama. And I understand. That makes her a true fan. So anyway, now Joe, on the other hand, an Alabama boy, was very excited. So Nathan, we're about ready to play this clip, but I needed to set that up, and just Madison's a total pro. So here's the deal. I sent her this clip because I go, you got to watch this. So here he is doing an interview. I don't know who he's doing it for. This is just a little clip. And I'm going to break this down for you, but he does a masterful job. And what he's talking about is his time in the NFL as a coach and how many drafts he prepares for, and then what he has learned from that about getting drafted in the NFL, the ultimate job. Call it the dream job for college football players. And this is what he teaches his young people. Now, when you're listening to this, I want you to put this same teaching and go, wait a second, this is how I get promoted. I mean, stage 5, I'm going to get promoted. I got to be this kind of player. Nathan, let's roll it.
Well, again, this goes back to players creating value for themselves. I always talk to players about, I spent 8 years in the NFL, so that means I sat through 8 drafts, which meant it's not just a draft. It's 2 weeks of preparing for the draft, and then 2 more weeks of getting questions answered, and then 2 more weeks of preparing for the draft. So I'm talking about listening to 1,000 draft reports. And I tell our players all the time, the 2 most compelling words in a draft report is and but. All right, so they read the player, and I'll take a defensive back. All right, he's got quick feet, change of direction, he had good long speed, can play man-to-man, he's a good tackler, he's got toughness, he's got really good ball judgment and really good ball skills, and he's a good person. He was a leader on the team. He graduated from school. Coaches loved him. Read the same player, but he had a positive drug test. He had a domestic violence incident with his girlfriend, got in a fight in a bar when he was a freshman. Strength coach said he wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire. Who do you want on your team? And or but? All right, so what I tell players is you don't realize that as soon as you apply for a job, as soon as you put your name in for the draft, people are looking for reasons not to pick you. They're looking for reasons not to hire you. So don't give anybody a reason to say but. It's the only way that you can create value for yourself. So that and but, what came after that had nothing to do with what the player was, but it had a significant impact on where the player got picked. So this is an analogy that I use all the time with players to try to get them to understand, how do I create value for myself and my future for what I want to accomplish?
This advice that Nick Saban gives his players is completely applicable to you in your career journey. I mean, let's just talk about stage 5, getting promoted. Ken, I want to get promoted. Are you an and employee? Or are you a but employee? If people think you're a but, I promise you, you are a but employee, right? I mean, we can just simplify that. But let's break this down. I mean, just your position. Great sales skills, communication skills off the chart, blah, 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 whatever. Great coder, incredibly talented, analytical mind, works fast, And great team player, great culture fit, a joy to lead. Or the same sentence, great coder, terrifically analytical, whip smart, works fast, but is a jerk. A cancer on the team, gossips, never shows up on time, whatever. You go from the talent side to the character side. And so the and or the but represents what do they say about you after the skills and the talent? What's the character? And so if you think about this, are you an and person or a but person? I got good news for you. If you've been a but person, you can fix that and become an and. But you're going to have to work hard and be intentional about it. You have to fix that personal brand. But you've got to get this because this is so important. As Nick Saban is giving this advice for football players that want to go from college to the pros, this is for you to get that internal promotion or get that job externally. And if people come to your references, you want people to go and, not but. And so this is really simple stuff. So the reason I share this with you is because it really simplifies this. Do you feel like people are going to say, and great character quality, character? Are they going to go there? Or are they going to go, but you're going to have to deal with this, and this. This is why, by the way, you want to work in healthy organizations. As I do want to put this one little asterisk out there because I can hear people right now, Madison, go, well, yeah, but I am an and person, but I truly work for a but leader. And there's nothing I could do. We get those calls, and I believe that. This is why you got to pick healthy cultures. You got to work for healthy leaders. And if they're unhealthy, get out before it turns sour. Because you could be an and person, but an unhealthy leader gets burned and upset that you left them or doesn't even like you basically asking any questions, even if you handle it the right way. I've seen this thing turn. So I want to acknowledge that you can be an and person, but an unhealthy leader or an unhealthy culture could produce a situation where you try to leave or you try to go up internally and they've turned you into a but person. And I want to acknowledge that. So that's why it's really, really, really important that you don't put all of your eggs into a really unhealthy culture or leadership basket because it will not work out for you. In those situations, there is little to nothing that you can do to try to come out of that positively. So be aware of that.